Greetings, Pisces and Pisces rising. This is your Western forecast for March 2024. Major new beginnings, being in the spotlight, taking the lead, visibility. That is because we're going to have 5 planets in Pisces, unheard of. Also, your attention, what you're planning and thinking, is going to also be on money matters and how to increase your income. So there could be all new ways of making money, which could be getting a new job or launching a new business. All of this is because we're having 5 planets in Pisces in the first house of new beginnings, of visibility, of taking the lead, major emphasis. But Mercury, the planet of information, communications, Mercury is this business savvy energies, is going to be transiting your second house of income, starting on March the 9th. But Mercury is usually in a sign or in a sector of the chart for 3 to 4 weeks. But on April the 1st, Mercury is going retrograde, and it's going to cause Mercury to remain in your second house of income for 2.5 months, till May the 15th. So, before I break all this down, all new ways of making money, for a lot of you, new job, new career, new sideline business perhaps. Before I break all this down, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my free daily horoscope message. All right. Where the sun shines is where your attention and focus is being drawn to. Every year, the sun is in Pisces from the last week of February till March the 19th. So that is the number one emphasis. But Venus, the planet of attraction, that planet of creativity, Venus is this very beneficial energies. Venus is going into Pisces on March the 11th through April the 4th. So you got that Sun, Venus, putting a lot of this creative energy, social energy, with visibility, with popularity, with new beginnings. Then Mars, once every 2 years, moves into Pisces on March the 22nd, and there until April the 30th. That brings in a lot of this ambition and drive and courage to really go for it. Now, the new moon once a month describes what your intentions are. What are you focusing on? On March the 10th is the new moon in Pisces. That new moon will keep the Pisces energies of new beginnings until the next new moon on April the 8th. This new moon is in harmony with Uranus. Uranus brings in new innovations, new technique. Often Uranus brings in a lot of this technological energies. So maybe learning new technology, finally getting online with a website, or promoting, marketing an online business with these new beginnings. But it's on March the 10th, the new moon. And if your birthday is maybe on the 9th, definitely on the 10th, the 11th, if you're older, in most cases, to the 12th, when your birthday, not very often, about maybe up to every decade and a half, there'll be a new moon on your birthday. A new moon is indicating some important new path, some major new direction. So not only are we having 5 planets emphasizing leadership, visibility, and new beginnings, it's also with the new moon. And especially if you're born around March the 10th, there's a real emphasis on a new path. Now, Mercury, business savvy Mercury, the planet of communications, information, ideas. Mercury is going into your second house of income on March the 9th. Mercury usually is in a sector of the chart, first house, second house, third house, what have you, for 3 to 4 weeks. Wherever Mercury is transiting, that's what you're thinking about, what you're curious about, what you're discussing. But the Mercury is in your second house of income, how to generate more money, how to handle and manage your financial affairs. However, Mercury is going retrograde April the 1st. So until April the 25th. Remaining in Aries. So Mercury will be in your second house of income, not for 3 to 4 weeks, but for 2.5 months. So that could also be with Mercury doing a lot of negotiations, a lot of learning, that's Mercury, a lot of selling, especially Mercury, that planet of communications in the second house of income. The Sun leaves Pisces on March the 19th and goes into your second house of income for 4 weeks. But the fact that the Sun goes into Aries, into your second house of income, is intensifying the focus on how to generate and manage your monies better. But all this new beginnings and launching new jobs and new careers, that's really the primary force. That is because even though the Sun is only shining on that first house of new ventures and leaderships for the first 19 days, benefic Venus is there from March the 11th till April the 4th. The new moon, drawing your attentions to new beginnings, goes from March the 10th to April the 8th, and Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, will be moving into Pisces, giving you a lot of courage and risk-taking and motivation to really go after these new ventures, March the 22nd till April the 30th. So even though money matters, increasing it, saving it, managing it will be a very important influence. It's not about making the money, which is the number one theme in most cases. It's really about the new venture. Maybe it's becoming a new leader. Maybe it is starting your own business. Maybe it's just starting a whole new job, but it's so significant, maybe it's more about starting a whole new career. The new moon on March the 10th is where we are planning our intentions, how to increase your income in all new ways with the influence of Uranus. 2 weeks later is the full moon on March the 24th. But the new moon, this full moon, is a lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse is a full moon. It's like a full moon on steroids. A regular full moon, you might only be emotionally reacting to the issues for a day or two, maybe 3 days. But if with a lunar eclipse, it's really impacting you for a much longer period. And if you have any planets being triggered by that full moon lunar eclipse, the impact could last up to 2 months. But this full moon lunar eclipse, there's a lot of change. There's a lot of readjusting. And it's in Libra, which is 8 signs past Pisces. This focus of change and adjustments, the 8th house deals with your financial obligations, joint ventures, banking, finance, taxes. So it's a real emphasis on your financial obligations. But we're also having Mercury and the Sun in your second house of your personal income. So you're really focused on not just generating income, but how to manage it and how to take on a lot of major responsibilities with joint ventures, with investors, with getting financial gifts. Again, that's the outcome from the new venture, the new career, the new job. Mars, before it goes into Pisces on March the 22nd, giving you all this courage and drive to really go for it once every 2 years, the end of March through April. Mars is in the shadow sector of the 12th house. Talked about this in last month's video. Mars went into your shadow sector, or the last sector of the chart, on February the 12th. Until March the 22nd. That's usually, if you don't have any projects and goals, you're just like in a holding pattern. You may be feeling really frustrated and stuck. But that last week of February, the Sun is moving into Pisces. By the 11th, now Venus is moving into Pisces. On the 10th, right around Venus going into Pisces, is the new moon in Pisces. So that Mars in the 12th is not about being stuck and frustrated because of all this emphasis on all new ventures. So Mars in the 12th house means doing a lot of work behind the scenes, really getting ready to develop, to build before all these new beginnings can really take hold. So this is part of the forecast where I like to examine how these planetary energies are impacting your body, your relationships, your business. Now, I've touched upon some of this, but when athletic, fiery, assertive Mars is in the shadow sector, yes, it's good because of everything else, of like really working hard late at night, exhausting yourself, but with all these clear goals in mind. But still, Mars in the 12th house, the first 3 weeks of March, you could be exhausted. You may not getting enough sleep. But then comes March the 22nd, when Mars goes into Pisces, all this energy, that drive, that courage is really taking off. When it comes to relationships, the Sun in the first house of visibility, leadership, but it's going to be aligned with Venus, social, loving, creative Venus. That Sun and Venus together will be March the 11th to the 19th. That could be being a time of being a lot more social, more popular, or really expressing yourself to the public more creatively. Then, as Venus remains in Pisces, then it joins Mars. And when Venus and Mars are together, March the 22nd till April the 4th, Venus and Mars together is very romantic energy, very passionate energy, very creative energy. But that Venus-Mars is in your first house of visibility. It gives you a lot of charisma. People are going to be really attracted to you. You're going to be feeling very sociable and very popular. It's very favorable for starting a new relationship or taking an existing relationship and having more fun and waking up the romance once again. In business, I've been touching upon all of this. There's a new project, a new job, a new career. And with it, I think it's really bringing in extra money, maybe more money than usual, unless you've had no money and now you have some money. But most of you'll be able to start new projects and ventures to make even more money than you're used to. And then that Mercury Sun in the second is learning how to manage it, invest it, budget it. And then that full moon lunar eclipse is putting a real emphasis on the 8th house, which are all your financial responsibilities like taxes and insurance, and credit and loans. But you might be part of this new direction with business could be attracting a major financial contract or a proposal to go into a business partnership. So I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like information on how to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.